Oh, we're just chilling.
In our geriatric bed.
Yeah. This bed vibrates. What the fuck? What the fuck?
And a lot of things happened at those Epstein parties that can't really be described.
And he got him in multiple different areas. Look at this. So this has to do with somebody that was filing complaint against Maxwell that had all types of Kardashians.
Taylor apparently is paying off, allegedly, some of Diddy's victims from this slush fund through...
They tried to medicate me. I was exhausted. They wrongly diagnosed me. And they when I asked them, how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly? It took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed about the amount, right? And I refused to take this, right? You understand that if I had taken the medication, I would not be here, and it would have been, he was deeply troubled. We miss him. We love his music, though.
Well, they would have Britney Spears too. I mean, look at
they would have Michael Jackson
or worse, yeah. So look at what they did. Look at what they did to Britney. When she went in, she was tired, she was exhausted, she was in a bad way. But 10 years of that medication wrecked her brain. You can see it now. You can see.
Honestly, like to sue my family. To be totally honest with you, I also would like to be able to share my story with the world and what they did to me, instead of it being a hush hush secret to benefit all of them. I want to be able to be heard on what they did to me. By making me keep this in for so long is not good for my heart. I've been so angry and I cry every day. It concerns me. I'm told I'm not allowed to expose the people who did this to me. For my sanity, I need you to the judge to approve me, do an interview where I can be heard on what they did to me. And actually, I have the right to use my voice and take up for myself. My attorney says I can't, it's not good. I can't let the public know anything they did to me, and by not saying anything is saying it's okay. I don't know what I said here. It's not okay. I don't want to interview. I'd much rather just have an open call to you for the press to hear, which I didn't know.
What if the biggest celebrity empire in Hollywood wasn't just built on business savvy and branding, but was quietly connected to one of the most disturbing scandals in modern history? Because right now, there are growing claims tying the Kardashian family to Britney Spears' controversial conservatorship, and even whispers linking their names to the Epstein files. It sounds unbelievable, but the deeper people dig, the more complicated and unsettling the story becomes. To understand why this is blowing up again, you have to go back to Britney Spears' conservatorship. Back in 2008, Britney was placed under a legal arrangement that gave her father control over her finances, career, and even personal decisions. At the time, it was framed as necessary. But as the years went on, fans started noticing something wasn't right. That's when the Free Britney movement took off, with supporters demanding transparency and questioning how a global superstar could be stripped of so much control for over a decade. By 2021, the movement had gained massive traction, ultimately leading to the conservatorship being terminated, but not before raising serious concerns about who benefited from it. And that's where a key name enters the picture: Lou Taylor, a powerful Hollywood business manager and the founder of TriStar Sports and Entertainment. Lou has long been rumored to have played a major role behind the scenes of Britney's conservatorship. Reports have suggested that she had close financial dealings with Britney's father before the arrangement was even put in place, leading some to question whether the conservatorship was as organic as it seemed. But what really raised eyebrows were Lou Taylor's deep business ties to the Kardashian-Jenner empire. Court records have listed her as a point of contact for several of their companies, placing her right in the middle of their financial ecosystem. Now here's where things start to spiral. Online investigators and critics have been pushing a theory that Britney's money didn't just sit under conservatorship control, but may have been redirected. According to these claims, funds could have been funneled through Lou Taylor's company into various high-profile ventures connected to Kardashian brands. Some estimates thrown around online suggest numbers in the hundreds of millions, with the most extreme claims reaching as high as $600 million. There's no confirmed proof of this, but the scale of the speculation alone has been enough to ignite a firestorm across social media, with people dissecting timelines, business filings, and major purchases. At the same time, people are starting to revisit something that didn't sit right with them years ago: the Kardashians' public support for Britney during the height of the Free Britney movement. On the surface, it looked like solidarity. But critics now argue that behind the scenes, there were ongoing relationships with Lou Taylor, the very person many believe helped orchestrate Britney's conservatorship. That contrast has led to accusations of performative support, with some questioning whether the public image told a completely different story from what was happening privately. And just when it seemed like this couldn't get any bigger, the Epstein files entered the conversation. Newly resurfaced allegations connected to the Ghislaine Maxwell case have reportedly mentioned the Kardashian name in complaints involving claims of association, financial misconduct, and exploitation. These allegations are unproven and remain part of ongoing discussions rather than confirmed facts, but their inclusion has dramatically raised the stakes. What was once seen as a separate controversy is now being pulled into a much larger and darker narrative, one that has people questioning how deep these connections really go. But beyond the theories, the documents, and the speculation, there's one voice that keeps cutting through the noise: Britney's. In her own testimony, she spoke about being controlled, medicated, and silenced for years. She described feeling trapped, unable to make decisions about her own life, and afraid to speak out. Those moments reminded the world that this isn't just a celebrity headline. It's a real person who says she lived through something deeply traumatic. And for many people, that's what keeps this story from fading away. So now the question becomes, are all of these connections just coincidences being stitched together by the internet? Or is there a larger system at play that hasn't fully come to light yet? With more eyes on this than ever before, people are demanding answers. But so far, there are far more questions than clarity. What do you think is really going on here? And where do you think this story leads next? What if everything you thought you knew about Hollywood's most famous family was just the surface? Because the latest revelations tied to the Epstein files aren't just raising eyebrows. They're blowing the lid off allegations that connect some of the biggest names in entertainment to one of the darkest scandals we've ever seen. And right at the center of it all, the Kardashians, Britney Spears, and a money trail that people are claiming runs into the hundreds of millions. For years, Britney Spears' conservatorship was painted as a protective measure. But when the Free Britney movement gained traction, cracks started to show. Behind the scenes, whispers began pointing toward powerful figures who may have had a financial stake in keeping Britney under control. Now, with newly surfaced claims, those whispers are turning into something much louder, with fingers pointing directly at longtime Hollywood manager Lou Taylor and her deep business ties to the Kardashian empire. According to multiple reports and ongoing online investigations, Britney's father allegedly had financial dealings with Lou Taylor before the conservatorship was even put in place, raising serious questions about whether this was ever truly about Britney's well-being. The theory? That the conservatorship created a pipeline of control over Britney's fortune, one that could be quietly redirected through business networks connected to some of the biggest celebrity brands in the world. And this is where things take a turn. Court documents have previously linked Lou Taylor to several Kardashian-Jenner companies, placing her in a position of influence across their business operations. From beauty empires to tequila brands, the connections are undeniable, but what's being alleged now goes far beyond routine business relationships. Some claim that Britney's money may have been funneled through these networks, boosting major ventures and even funding high-profile purchases. While these claims remain unproven, they've fueled intense speculation online, with some estimates ballooning into the hundreds of millions. But the controversy doesn't stop there. Critics have also pointed out what they see as a glaring contradiction: public support for Britney during the height of the Free Britney movement, while maintaining close ties behind the scenes with the very figures accused of orchestrating her conservatorship. That tension has only intensified after reports surfaced of continued social connections between the Kardashian circle and Lou Taylor, leaving many to question where loyalty and accountability really lies. Then came the Epstein files, in newly resurfaced allegations tied to the Ghislaine Maxwell case. The Kardashian name appeared in connection with claims made by a complainant alleging associations, financial misconduct, and exploitation. These accusations are serious, but it's important to note they remain allegations and have not been proven in court. Still, Their emergence has added fuel to an already explosive narrative, pulling the Kardashians into a wider web of controversy that extends far beyond business dealings. Meanwhile, Britney's own words continue to echo through all of this. Her emotional testimony about control, medication, and being silenced paints a picture that's hard to ignore. And for many, it reinforces the urgency of asking deeper questions about who truly benefited from her years under conservatorship. So now, the conversation is shifting again. Was this just a series of unfortunate connections? Or is there something much bigger hiding beneath the surface of Hollywood's most polished empire? As more details emerge and public scrutiny intensifies, one thing is clear. This story is far from over, and the truth, whatever it may be, is still unfolding.